Hey guys, welcome back. So, I don't know how to say it other than just saying it, but I'm 40 weeks and 5 days today. I'm like way over my due date. And I know that it can be completely normal for some people to go as far as 42 weeks, but after that, it's not safe to go any further because it's not beneficial for you or the baby. There are more risks involved if you go further than that. Basically, I want to give you guys an update because this is going to be like the most live time because today is Saturday and I'm going to upload this on Saturday, so you guys are literally going to see this a couple hours after I have recorded this. So here's what's happening. On Thursday, I had a doctor appointment because I had surpassed 40 weeks, obviously. I think I was 40 weeks and 3 days on my appointment. So my doctor, she checked me for dilation. I was 3 centimeters, which is 2 more than I was the week previous. So she also said she wanted to sweep my membranes, and I told her that's fine because we didn't do it the week before. I didn't really want her to, but I think I just should have let her at the time. But anyway, she swept my membranes on Thursday. There was a little bit of blood, which is normal. It's not like bright blood though. It's kind of like very pinkish and brownish. I don't know if I'm having a contraction or if I have to go to the bathroom. But anyway, she swept my membranes, and then we had to decide whether or not I wanted to schedule a C-section or get induced, because at this point, this baby like clearly does not want to come out on his own, and I don't know why. I did not expect to go this long, and I feel like I've already said this to you guys in a past video, but like truthfully just didn't expect to go this long, especially past my due date. That's just wild to me. I don't want to get cut open again unless it's like needed, like we have to do it. Would like to try to go natural, but here's the other thing. I also had an ultrasound because once you passed your due date, they want to do an ultrasound to make sure that everything still looks okay and that baby's healthy and that he doesn't like need to get taken out. So based on their measurements, they think this baby is 8 pounds 11 ounces already, and I know that they can be off on that. It's happened many times. But that makes me nervous because Riley was a very small baby and I couldn't get her out. And I feel like there were other reasons and factors involved on why I couldn't get her out. I'm small, this baby is pretty big, and I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to push him out and they're going to have to do a C-section anyway. And that's going to be risky too, because basically I'm trying for a VBAC because my first full-term pregnancy, I had to have an emergency C-section. So I'm trying for a VBAC because getting cut open twice puts you at more risk, especially if I decided to have another child after this. Getting induced when you're trying to do a VBAC can cause risks, and especially if I go in having a VBAC, it's more risky if I have to have an emergency C-section, where if I scheduled a C-section, it would be less risky. It's like very contradicting and weird. Like if you guys are ever in this situation, they usually give you a piece of paper that you have to sign an initial saying that you agree to everything, and it's super conflicting. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about that because that's not what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on and what happened at the appointment and stuff. I called Jared from the appointment because where I go, you cannot have anyone come back for your appointments with the doctor, but he was able to come back for the ultrasound, and that's it. So I had my ultrasound, had to go back to the waiting room, wait for my doctor to be ready for me. They pulled me back and I talked to her one-on-one. So she gave me the options, and I called Jared because he was with me, but he was out in the truck waiting. I asked him what we should do because it's kind of not like just my decision, it's his as well. So he said, induce. We don't want me to get cut open if we can help it because my scar is still like touchy. It's sensitive even though it's been like 3.5 years. And I don't want to get cut open again right where it's still sensitive because I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to heal, especially over scar tissue. And it's just gonna be worse than it was the first time. But anyway, my doctor said that she had to talk to the on-call doctors and see who would be willing to induce me since I'm trying to go for a VBAC. There's, I guess, one of the doctors or a couple of them will not induce people who want a VBAC. So with that being said, she told me she would get a hold of me. So on Friday, yesterday, she had the office call me and they told me that the 2 on-call doctors for the weekend were okay with inducing me. So she asked me what day. I said Saturday, and I had to go in yesterday and get a COVID test done, which wasn't bad at all. I assume it depends where you go and who does it, because some people say they like shove it way back there, like they're touching your brain and it hurts or it's uncomfortable. And honestly, it was no worse than like getting your throat swabbed for the flu or strep or whatever. It was just like a weird tickle. I didn't even have my eyes water. It was really nothing. And it came back negative. I got my result at like 10 something that night. They have to do that before every surgery or induction. So I got that done, and then they told me that I would get a call today. I'm basically like on call to go into the hospital. There's no set time on when they're gonna induce me. It's more so of just when they're ready for me, when they have a room. Got my membrane swept. Then my doctor literally told me to have sex. She told me that the hormone released when you get your membrane swept is the same hormone that gets released from semen. So she said, since she swept my membranes, to go home and have sex because it's like a double dose and it could kickstart labor. So we could avoid having for me to go in for an induction, because if he starts to come on his own, that would be way better. We did it a couple times. Last night, we did it thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get called in the morning and it's gonna be the last time we get to do this. But we did that. And then I went to the bathroom and I lost, this was for sure my mucus plug. I thought I lost it before, but it was very small and it was like almost clear yellow. So I wasn't even sure if that was it or not. But there was no doubt in my mind last night that I lost my mucus plug. I thought I lost all of it because it was so much, and it's really gross. So I'm not gonna go into detail about all of that. It's just like literally like a giant booger with other gross stuff. After that, I started having a lot of contractions and I was timing them, and they were kind of pretty close, but they weren't like really intense. But it was getting very late. I was very tired. I didn't fall asleep until 5 o'clock. But I told myself, okay, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. If I can't sleep because they get too bad or too intense, then obviously we'll get up and we'll go to the hospital. But I ended up falling asleep and I could sleep through them just fine. And I woke up this morning and no contractions, so. But we did go out for breakfast. I was expecting to be called early, kind of, but I guess I'm not really sure when I was expecting to get a call. But we were out at breakfast and they called me at about 11:30 and they told me they didn't have a room for me yet and that she would call me when they had one, but she didn't think that they would have one until late this afternoon, probably evening. It's 1:18, so evening I would assume is anywhere between like 5 and 8 o'clock, honestly. So I don't know what time it's gonna be, but at least it's kind of nice to know that now I have a little bit of time to do anything else I want to get done before I have to go in. I also painted my nails, which I know is like not that big of a deal, but it was something that I wanted to have done for myself, and I have to paint my toenails still to match, which I meant to do yesterday, but I honestly completely like forgot and I put the nail polish back without thinking. I'm gonna do that, and if I have time, maybe recolor my hair, but that's not like a need. But anyway, if you're wondering, I'm on my yoga ball right now because it's the best thing to sit on in here as of right now. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on what's going on. Probably by the time you guys see this, I'll be in the hospital or on my way there. And then the next time that you see me, I'll probably have a labor and delivery update for you and possibly a baby to show you. That's crazy. I'm excited, I'm scared. We shall see what happens, and obviously I will let you guys know what happens. But as of right now, just waiting to go in. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you shortly. Bye.